As holiday makers enjoy the crystal blue water at Beale Bay, in the WA tourist town of Coral Bay, fish skeletons lie scattered among the seaweed. Key points. WA's Ningaloo coast was hit by one of the most severe mass fish S in more than a decade. WA's Ningaloo coast was hit by one of the most severe mass fish S in more than a decade. About 16,000 fish were counted along the coast. About 16,000 fish were counted along the coast. The affected beaches have been cleaned and reopened to the public. It's a stark reminder of Western Australia's largest fish event in more than a decade, and the epic effort locals made to save the beach before the peak tourist season began. On March 27th, the Department of Primary Industries and Regional Development launched an investigation into the fish after an estimated 16,000 fish were counted along affected beaches on the Ningaloo coast, including Turquoise Bay, Beale Bay and Yarda Creek. Popular swimming spot Beale Bay has reopened to the public, just in time for school holidays. Beale Bay, Coral Bay's most popular swimming beach, was the most severely impacted. During this time, DPOD warned people not to enter into or fish from the putrid water, which contained high levels of bacteria. The analysis of water samples from Beale Bay indicated no harmful algae were present, DPOD said, but ammonia, nitrates and phosphates were detected, likely the result of decaying coral spawn and fish. A tourist captured this photo at Beale Bay on April 2nd. Marion Mars Sam, from DPOD, said the department believed the mass fish event was caused by coral spawning. Coral spawn itself can use up oxygen in the water, and when it breaks down, more oxygen is used up as part of the breakdown process, Ms. Mars Sam said. That reduces oxygen in the water for the fish. They can end up dying as a result. Coral spawning is an annual event, which typically occurs following the March full moon, after corals are stimulated by the seasonal rise in water temperatures. DPOD said another factor, which could have contributed, was local marine heatwave conditions that occurred along the Ningaloo coastline in late March. Turquoise Bay is renowned for its excellent snorkeling. The department said the coral spawn slicks could drift towards the shore, and when trapped close to the coast, could create low oxygen conditions made worse by a low tide and swell. The Ningaloo coast is no stranger to fish events. Authorities said the last fish of this magnitude was 12 years ago. Beaches reopened to visitors. If you're traveling to Coral Bay these Easter school holidays, you can thank John Farn for the improved state of the beaches. John Farn helped clean up the beaches after the mass fish event. With a couple of trucks, a bobcat and a loader, John, his mates and the Department of Biodiversity, Conservation and Attractions took to the beach to clean up the fish, which were taken to the local tip. It was as bad as it gets, and every year the coral spawns and you walk out and you go, sniff. Oh, the coral is spawning, and that's the end of it. There's very little. But this year was the exception, he said. But as locals, we want to have it clean. We can't do much about the water, but that's now freshened up. It's lovely out there, so Easter school holidays, we're good to go. Mr. Farn removed the fish, which were taken to the local tip. On April 8th, DPOD removed the fish alert for Turquoise Bay, Yarda Creek, Point Billy and Janes Bay. Sally Ann Gudge, from the DBCA, said a survey of fish showed they were all reef-associated species and the ecosystem should recover soon. Fingers crossed that all those things fall into place and those fish numbers can come back. A lot of those fish species do recruit pretty quickly, Ms. Gudge said. Authorities say they will continue to keep a close eye on the Ningaloo coast and the fish population. Sally Ann Gudge hopes fish populations along the Ningaloo coast will recover. DPOD has reminded visitors to exercise caution in the area and not to enter or fish from any water that appears smelly and putrid, as it could contain high levels of bacteria. They urge people to report any further fish S to Fishwatch at fish.wa.gov.au or on 1800815507. Fish skeletons can still be found on parts of the Coral Bay coastline.